So you're in recovery from your eating disorder and you need a meal plan. While it might be your first intuition, the absolute worst thing that you can do is Google meal plan for eating disorder recovery. The reason why is these meal plans are not specific, they're not safe, and they might perpetuate that eating disorder even further. So in this video, we're going to discuss 3 things that need to be on your eating disorder recovery meal plan and 3 things that should never be on an eating disorder recovery meal plan. My name is Sheena and I'm a registered dietitian specializing in the care of persons with eating disorders. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely click that subscribe button. Your eating disorder meal plan should be carefully tailored to meet your very specific needs by an eating disorder dietitian. While each eating disorder meal plan is unique to each individual based on the amount of weight that needs to be restored, how severe their calorie deprivation is, how long they've had their eating disorder, and clinical symptoms of malnutrition, there are certain things that do need to be on every single meal plan. So number 1, your meal plan should include all macronutrient groups. We should see carbs, fats, and protein. And we're going to break these down even further. Often see a meal plan which includes grains, proteins, either plant-based or animal proteins, fats, dairy, fruits and vegetables, and your dietitian may include a couple other food groups in order to help you challenge fear foods and make sure that you are getting enough variety in that meal plan. It's absolutely critical that we begin to re-nourish with all of the food groups on that meal plan, although the amount per food group will vary from one individual to the next. The next thing that should be on every recovery meal plan is portion requirements per meal. Especially in the early stages of eating disorder recovery, that meal plan should be divided into breakfast, lunch, dinner, and at least 2, but preferably 3 snacks. Meal and snack, there should be a designation for how much of each of those food groups you should have. So for example, for breakfast, you might have 2 portions of carbohydrates, 2 portions of protein, 1 fruit, and 1 fat. Your dietitian will clarify what designates a portion on that meal plan. Very important that your meal plan is divided into breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks because the eating disorder is often going to try to negotiate when certain foods are allowed. So for example, eating disorder might try to designate meal times around your exercise routine, or it might try to always forego breakfast and try to consume all of those calories at lunch or dinner. While for some, we may still be meeting nutrition requirements if we're getting all of our food groups in the required portion throughout the day, not at designated times, that doesn't do anything to dismantle that eating disorder voice and move us forward in recovery. So very important that we do get those meals and snacks at structured regimens on the meal plan. It also helps the eating disorder know what to expect. It helps to reduce friction, chaos, anxiety, guilt, and shame as we progress in our eating disorder. The third thing that should be on every single recovery meal plan is a person's fear foods. So a fear food is a food that is often avoided or there's specific rules around, such as you should only have this food in this quantity or on this special occasion. These fear foods need to be introduced in the meal plan right away. Begin to restore only on an eating disorder's safe foods or foods that the eating disorder deems permissible. This actually is just going to prolong how long it's going to take for that recovery process to be successful. We need to be challenging the eating disorder voice in all possible ways from the very start of that recovery journey. 3 things that should never be on a eating disorder recovery meal plan. 1, calories. Calories have no place in your eating disorder recovery meal plan. When your dietitian prescribes your meal plan, they will know the calories that they are indicating on that meal plan, but it will be divided by food groups and recommended portions, so your eating disorder doesn't go to town on creating new rules around those calories. This is both a safety issue and it helps to not perpetuate that eating disorder. The second thing that should never be on your recovery meal plan is specific foods. A meal plan that specifically says 2 eggs, 2 slices of bacon, 1 slice of toast, 1 teaspoon of butter, And one apple for breakfast is likely just going to perpetuate that eating disorder. The reason why is the eating disorder really wants that. It likes rules and rigidity. It wants to know very specifically exactly how it needs to recover. And while this seems logical, it actually just puts a new set of rules and regulations into your eating disorder's language. And we can become very fixated on the foods that are quote unquote prescribed. While we want to be specific about the types of foods that we're going to have and how much we're going to have and when we're going to have it, we don't want to specifically say this is the exact food that you're going to have. Third thing that has no place on an eating disorder recovery meal plan is diet foods. So foods like organic, whole grain, low sugar, etc. Those do not belong on your recovery meal plan and will likely perpetuate eating disorder thoughts and amplify that eating disorder voice. If you're working with a professional and they have prescribed any of these don'ts on your meal plan, it might be time to seek out a provider that is more well versed in eating disorders and can help to foster a safe and effective recovery meal plan. I hope that this video was helpful for you, so please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with a friend.